Tonight, as you stand in the dark kitchen waiting for the microwave to beep, you are performing a miracle you completely take for granted. Right now, as you stand perfectly still, the brain inside your skull is silently stealing 20% of your body's entire energy supply. For hundreds of thousands of years, feeding that hungry organ meant chewing raw, tough roots until your jaw ached and the cold crept in. You just press a button. But to pay that massive biological bill, your ancestors had to invent something that would change human anatomy forever. This is not a story about technology. It is a story about the body you are sitting in and a biological debt you owe. In the animal kingdom, brains are incredibly expensive to run. If you want a bigger mind, you have to find a way to fuel it. Step outside your modern kitchen. Turn off every light. Keep going back 400,000 years into a freezing night where shadows had teeth. Before we had fire, surviving meant eating raw food. Wild apes spend up to 6 hours every single day just grinding down tough leaves. The cold chewed at their bones, and digesting that dense, raw fiber required an enormous stomach and a massive digestive tract to process. A huge gut and a huge brain cannot exist in the same body. There is simply not enough energy to keep both of them running. Your ancestors were trapped in an evolutionary dead end. To grow the mind that eventually built your microwave, something else had to shrink first. The solution was not biological. It was a spark. When someone threw a piece of raw meat into the glowing embers, everything shifted. The flames broke down the tough tissues. The heat unlocked calories that were previously trapped. Fire became our very first external stomach. Suddenly, the jaw did not have to work as hard. The intestines did not need to be so long. The energy budget was finally freed. So when that modern machine beeps and warms your face, why does your body still crave a hot meal in the middle of the night? To understand what you are actually feeling in that modern kitchen, we have to stay by this ancient fire. The flames did the heavy lifting. When intense heat breaks down the tough fibers of meat and roots, it unlocks calories that raw food simply refuses to give up. Wild apes spend up to 6 grueling hours every single day just grinding leaves and raw stems to survive. It is an exhausting chore. But with a campfire acting as an external stomach, human beings suddenly finish dinner in a fraction of the time. The chewing stopped. And for the very first time in the history of our planet, a primate species found itself with a massive surplus of free time. What did your ancestors do with those borrowed hours? They didn't just sleep. The light of the flames artificially extended the day. In 2014, anthropologist Polly Wiesner published a study in PNAS about how hunter-gatherers talk. She found a profound shift when the sun goes down. During the harsh daylight, conversation is almost entirely about survival and economics. Who is working? Who is hunting? Where to find water? But at night, bathed in the warmth of the embers, 81% of the conversation transforms into storytelling. The world of survival fades away. By the fire, they spoke of spirits, of distant lands, of ancestors. The flames gave birth to human imagination and to culture itself. This is why almost no one on Earth dislikes the smell of wood smoke. That scent seeps into your memory as the ultimate signal of safety. Outside that ring of light, the Ice Age wind howled and predators stalked. But inside, the tribe was bound together by warmth and words. The fire fed the massive brain inside Oku's skull, and the stories he told wired that brain to cooperate, to dream, to build. Without that prehistoric spark doing the heavy lifting for our digestive system, the human mind as you know it would simply starve. Because growing a brain that can invent the microwave required a brutal biological trade. Something else inside the body had to disappear. In 1995, scientists Leslie Aiello and Peter Wheeler proposed a radical idea, the expensive tissue hypothesis. It explains the biological bill of your mind. They realized that human bodies had to make a brutal evolutionary trade. To fuel a massive, energy-hungry brain, something else had to shrink. That something was the digestive tract. Because the fire was doing the heavy lifting, our ancestors no longer needed a massive stomach to survive. The fire literally carved the human face. Without the need to grind raw roots for hours, human jaws shrank and our teeth grew smaller. The flames became a second stomach, burning outside the body. It pre-digested the heavy, fibrous world so our internal organs did not have to. All that saved energy seeped upward, flooding the skull. The fire paid the absolute biological price for the thoughts you are having right now. Without that ring of stones holding the glowing embers, the human mind as you know it would have simply starved in the cold. We are the only animal on this planet that cooks. And we are the only animal biologically addicted to the heat of a cooked meal. If you tried to survive on a completely raw diet in the wild, the massive brain inside your head would slowly drain your body. The craving you feel for a warm meal in the middle of the night is not a weakness. It is a primal survival command. Your body is not broken. It is remembering. It remembers the exact technology that pulled your ancestors out from the bottom of the food chain. The warmth soaking into your skin right now is the same warmth that allowed our species to build languages, cities, and modern technology. You traded the roaring campfire for a glowing microwave, but the biological machinery inside your stomach remains exactly the same as it was. When you swallow that hot food, you are honoring an ancient debt. The fire carved your anatomy, and your DNA still demands the heat. So the next time you feel guilty for wanting a hot meal at 2 a.m., remember the prehistoric spark that built your mind. The next time you pull a late-night meal from the microwave, stop judging yourself for lacking modern discipline. You are following a survival script. That sudden surge of comfort, that deep relaxation in your shoulders. It is the exact same relief your ancestors felt when they survived another day. But there is a catch to this ancient biological inheritance. In the modern world, we kept the heat, but we stripped away the context. When Oku sat by the embers, the fire did not just feed his stomach and his massive brain. It also fed his deep social hunger. The flames illuminated the faces of his tribe. They shared the meat, they shared the warmth, and most importantly, they shared the stories. Today, you can press a button and receive the exact same evolutionary reward, the hot, calorie-dense meal, completely alone in a dark kitchen. Your digestive system is perfectly satisfied. The expensive tissue inside your skull gets the massive amount of energy it needs to keep running. But another primal system, the one that expects to hear voices and see faces around the light, is left completely starving in the dark. We have successfully tamed the fire. We trapped it inside metal boxes and hidden wires, making it safe, predictable, and incredibly lonely. Look out your window at the glowing city. Millions of tiny, isolated fires, burning inside millions of separate, silent boxes stacked into the sky. We traded the dangerous, roaring campfire for the sterile glow of electricity. We traded the vast, starry sky for a glowing digital screen. Your body is not broken. It is functioning exactly as it was designed to, craving the heat that paid for the human mind. But the next time the appliance beeps and bathes your face in that warm, ancient light, ask yourself the one question evolution forgot. The spark is still there. The calories are secured. The biological debt of your massive brain has been fully paid for the night. Your mind still requires the fire to survive. But in the modern world, who are you sharing the warmth with?